Okay, so this is a snuffle mat, and I have put a 30cm ruler there just to give you an idea of scale. And snuffle mat is basically made of a rubber doormat and fleece. So the idea is that you can put your dog's food or treats into this, and kind of you push them in a little bit more, and your dogs have to snuffle them out. And it's a really good thing for using their brain and slowing down fast eaters. So that's that side of it. I'll just quickly show you the other side. So there you go, you can see the rubber edge. I've left the rubber edge on this one so it doesn't slide about on a slidey floor quite so much. And it's just got lots of fleece strips tied into it. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these. Okay, so this is a slightly smaller one than I showed you before. It was an enormous mat that I got from B&Q. This one's a much more sensible size, and it was from Morrison's, and it just cost £2. And then I've got 2 fleece blankets that I bought, which were I think £3.99 each. So I've just taken 2 different colours. One's got a kind of pattern on it, while the other one doesn't. It doesn't matter. It can just be plain fleece, but that's what you need to get started. Okay, so I've laid out the fleece. I've folded it in 2 just now so I can fit it on the table, and ready to cut. I've taken out the edging stitching that was on the fleece blanket stuff here, just pulled that out so that I can get the most use of this. If you cut it out, you're going to lose fabric, so better just to pull it out. Now, okay, so now we're going to work on cutting up the fabric. So first thing to check is which way the fabric stretches. So this one, it stretches that way. So whichever way you're cutting, you want your strips to be non-stretchy, if that makes sense. If you cut it the stretchy way, when you're trying to do things, it can be a bit difficult and a little bit, you're not really sure what size you really need. Okay, so strips should be not stretchy. So you're going to make your strips probably about 4 centimetres, something like that. Let's find the ruler. There we go. 4 centimetres, I would say about 4 centimetres wide. 4 to 5 centimetres wide. You don't want them to be really skinny, narrow ones, but you don't want to waste the fabric either. If you make them too wide, then you're not going to have enough strips to fill all the holes in the mat. I would suggest that you invest in a pair of sharp scissors if you do not already own a pair, because that halves the time just having a decent pair of scissors. Okay, so now we have our big long strip. We're going to fold it so we have kind of equal length bits. I don't want to waste any of the fabric. If I get to the end and I've got a little cut off bit like that, that's no use. We're wasting fabric. So let's just make these folds just a little bit bigger. And hopefully that will just be enough to make it equal all the way. Which it does. Okay, so now we've got it folded like that. And then you can just go snip, snip, and then on the other side, it's not exact science. There we go. And that's it. You've got your strips all ready for threading through your mat. Alright? Okay, so I've got my rubber mat, and I've cut up all my fleece into strips, and all you do now is thread them through the mat. Let's thread through each bit and then tie a knot. So I've already done a couple to begin with, just so you can see on the back. You're just doing them in rows. I'm doing a pattern, so I quite like going up and down the rows. Some people say it's easier if you start in the middle and work out so that you can get all the loops done. But I tend to do it like this, and then just go into it after. I don't find it that difficult to do it this way. So you're basically just going to go along putting rows of these fleece in here, and then what I do is I go back into it and do the crisscross afterwards with the fleece that's left. So I'll show you that once I've gotten a bit further on with it. But to begin with, it's just going to look a bit like this, and you're kind of go, oh, it doesn't look like the fleece is there, I can see the big holes, but it will come together, I promise. Okay, so we're getting somewhere, but we're not finished yet. So you can see on this side, I've just been kind of going across in diagonals, and there is a kind of pattern going on there as well. It's up to yourself whether you want to make a pattern or not. I just like to have it mixed up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on putting fleece across these little cross sections here where there isn't fleece. So basically just filling in now, and we'll be back and show you what it looks like once I've finished. Okay, so that's pretty much the Snuffle mat finished. I didn't do a great job when I was chopping up the blues. I made some of them a bit too big and a bit too long. So you can see in the back that there are little bits of black rubber that haven't been covered up, crossed over with fleece. So I've got some other bits of fleece lying about. I can finish that off if I want to make it thicker. But actually, it's pretty good. And that's just 2 blankets and 2 blankets and a rubber mat. Done. Okay, so filling your Snuffle mat. You can just use kibble. If your dog's quite happy just eating its kibble, it's a great way to feed dogs that are prone to bloat. It means it slows them right down because you sprinkle your kibble all over it and then work it down a little bit for them and then place them out on the ground and they can just snuffle in and look for it. Unfortunately, my dog's quite fussy. She won't eat dry kibble. So I'm just using a couple of these treats, which is the ones from Costco. I just chop them up into little bits. So they were originally like that. And you just, the same as you would with a kibble, just spread it across. And a bit more. It's actually quite a lot there for. There we go. And these are great for if you've got dogs that get barky when you're leaving the house, or who are overly interested in your guests when they arrive. It's just something else for them to do. Right, so you can see I'm just moving the bits of fleece so that the treats are kind of going down into the roots, if you like. Okay, there we go. And that's it. And
what's this? Hey? Go on then, sniff it.